next step is design. Once you do planning, analysis, the next phase is design. Design means whatever you got it from information system requirement, the analysis phase has to be designed. So, there are two phases of designing, one is logical design, the next one is physical design. In the logical design, we try to convert users view, whatever view or requirements you got from the users, and you convert to different set of conceptual model. Okay. A set of 3 NFs are called normal forms. In database design, we call it as normal forms. The 3 normal forms or 4th normal or 5th normal forms, a set of conceptual model is designed, and this conceptual model is called logical design. So, from user views to 3 NFs or 3rd normal forms, the relationship between the files and the tables or the relations, entity relations, this relations designing is called the logical design. Once the design is ready, logical design is ready, then you convert to files or tables, physical tables, indexing, tables. So, this is called physical design of the information system. The physical design is done means you get an integrated conceptual design. This is the document is ready for programmers. Now, the next step is implementation, the final stage. Before the final stage, this is the last stage, implementation. Once what is implementation? Implementation means whatever design you got it from the design step, you start programming, you start writing coding, and you start writing coding. What are the steps in the implementation? Coding, programming, then testing, installation, training, documentation, and data migration. These are the things are done in programming. As you know, we write programs, so that the logic whatever you convert, you are there in the, you got it from system analysis, will be converted to a set of programs. And then what is the training? Training is given, so first of all coding, and then documentation and data migration. So, these are the things which are done in the implementation phase. And finally, you also do the testing. There are different type of testing involved. Say acceptance testing, regression testing, white box testing, black box testing. You just see whether the system is designed, whatever it is designed is doing its job or not. And finally, data migrated to the old information system to the new information system, or from the manual system to the new information system. So, this is the way how operational system is designed. Once it is designed, you go for maintenance. As all of you know, over the period of time, things change. People change, managers change, decision making styles change, hence requirements change. In this, and the requirements change means you have to modify the information system, and that is nothing but maintenance of the system. You maintain the system, so that it will bring to the equilibrium of system, equilibrium position, means all people will be happy. So, at the end of the day, if information system is not happy, people are not happy, then it is of no use. So, constantly you review and maintain the operating system. So, in the due interval time, organization's requirement is reviewed, and then you change the information system or maintain the information system. And finally, one day there is the death of the information system. You develop a new system afresh. Now, we will discuss different type of SDLC models or methodology. There are many different SDLC models. You know, this is the system development life cycle is a life cycle, but the life cycle vary in terms of sequence, the outcome of each stage, and the component of each step, and how fast they move one stage to another stage. These are all changes are different in different phases. Okay. So, the deliverables are changed, the risk involved is changed, how the risk is mitigated is changed, and then steps involved are also changed. So, whatever you see this information system life cycle we discussed originally, it is one type of a model, it does not exist in reality. We take the help of this model to explain you. So, there are various type of models. One is waterfall model, spiral model, incremental life cycle model, V-shape model, prototyping, RAD, Agile. There are many other models. These are all important models. Let us discuss waterfall model. See the waterfall model. Waterfall model is a very traditional development life cycle. So, here if you see steps, first one planning, stage 2 design, third one is implementation, deployment, and then maintenance. If you see, there is a stages and there is a ladder, one step another stage, it is like a waterfalls type of shape. There is no feedback of the information system, each one is different. After each stage, once the deliverable is done, the second step starts, unless or until the first stage is over, the second stage will not start. So, for example, library information system, which is a very robust and most means people have understood the library system. So, people expect that that the system will take a lot of time. So, similarly here in this case a waterfall model, it takes a lot of time. So, these steps one step the other, unless and until the first step is over, the second step is not started. So, the feedback is stopped, there is no feedback between the last step to, you can't go back. So, it takes a lot of time. The large project are generally used this type of system development waterfall model. For example, library information system, people know the disadvantage of this model is that by the time you design the information system, the requirements change. So, this type of model, waterfall model project is used when you know the requirements are well known, people know that this thing is going to happen, they expect that the system will take a lot of time. By the time you know, the requirements should not change, that type of project you should take. If the requirements change frequently, then the whole process of doing this requirement analysis is gone. So, this is the way, what are the disadvantages of and disadvantages of waterfall model. Then the next step is another type of model is called prototyping. Prototyping is another type of model where information requirements are not known. I do not know what I want today, I have some simple problems, but complex, but I do not know what to do, what is my requirement. In this case, we use prototyping model. In the prototyping model, what happened? The requirements, it is prototype is, what is a prototype? It is a scaled down version of a big project. So, if you want to add some new features of an information system, if you want to develop a small applications where requirements are not known or not clear, or people are not able to explain to the system designer, then you should go for this type of prototyping. A prototyping means first, initially what are the steps involved? You just ask the requirement, not everything, whatever minimum requirements you ask, and then you design the system and you do a prototyping, means operational module of the software and start using it. And then if you find any problem, go back and ask the user, hey boss, any problem with the existing system, tell me what you want, change the information system, change the design, then change the software and ask the software people to add the people to use. You keep on changing to the prototyping prototype till the user is satisfied. In this way, requirements are collected. Earlier it was the users was not able to find out the requirement, tell the requirements, but in this case the requirements are very much, it means they could able to gather the information requirements from the users. So, in this way prototype is designed, and this prototype can be thrown away, it can be thrown away or it can be used. Some people they throw away this prototype because it has its own limitations. So, but some organizations they continue using this prototype, but if that it has more challenges, if because prototype is not done considering all the context of the organization. So, if you start using as a final product the organization, that it may have problem. So, generally people use prototyping when requirements are not known. So, by using prototyping modeling, I can get the requirements, so that I know what actually you require, and I am convinced that this is the thing what you want, this is the software you want. I design, I get the information quickly, rapidly, I get the information, design it, produce the output, ask you to see whether it is okay, then again refine it, again I will ask you to redesign, change, give your requirement and redesign and start develop the software. This is the way how prototyping, and most of the cases prototyping should be thrown away, but many organizations continue using this thrown away model, which is not okay, it has its own disadvantage. And the next one is called rapid application design. Rapid application design is means you go for you develop the system rapidly by using this JAD, all type of systems. Okay. So, you take the help of different type of methodology and use JAD especially, so that rapidly the system is designed. And the final one is called agile methodology. Agile methodology is very interesting, and the modern system development information system development people use agile methodology. So, what are the things agile methodology? Let us understand what is the meaning of agile. Agile means change. Here the philosophy is that software development is very uncertain, fluid in nature and highly risky, and requirements change very fast. So, in this condition, how can you say that these are the information requirements, you have to give this requirement, this is the MOU between you and me, you can't just say like that. So, generally what happened when this type of conditions, when everything is agile and I do not know what is my requirement. So, I should go believe on the agile manifesto. There is an agile manifesto where they have written what are the ways, what are the best practices of developing a software. So, people's requirements change very fast and also do not know how, what are the things, and there are a lot of uncertainties. So, in this case they developed like minded people team, customized teams across different functional areas, and those are people not teams of people not of any type of roles. Roles are not that important, people are more important. So, they are very informal in nature, they develop the software, they modify the software according to their ways, and then they use it. So, this is one type of methodology where the people are more important than the roles, and it is fast, incremental and software development process, and where a lot of prototypes are also developed. So, this is agile manifesto where agility is the key to success. So, nothing is fixed, there will be no MOU or between the requirements fixing, there will be I cannot fix the requirements. So, in this way people are important, not the roles, and then process are not important, process will be followed, but if at all it is delayed or the users are not satisfied, then you must just forget the process, go for whatever you feel. This is the last one I would like to tell you is spiral model. Spiral model is also most popular model. And there are 4 phases. Spiral model is the technique famous for risk reduction. It is a risk reduction technique. Okay, Barry Boehm developed this model. It is an evolutionary model where each phase will be like a spiral. You see, there are 4 phases of this thing. Okay, what are the stages? First is determine the objectives, evaluate the risk, develop the project and planning for the next one. This is the spiral. You see, there are many spirals in the model. So, each one first fix the objective, decide the objective, constraint, everything in the first stage, and then move to the second stage. What is the second stage? Evaluate each objective, evaluate constraint, evaluate risk of the objective, risk of each information system, then move to the next one. The next one is develop the system and find out the opportunity in the modified system, and then next is that you just plan for the next. These are the phases, and each stage entire development starts, also continue. So, if you see this model, it is a spiral, lot of prototypes across the prototype 1, prototype 2, prototype 3, prototype 4, prototype, actual product, operational product, and then risk is reduced at every step, because at every step of the model, every spiral the product is designed, people start using it, and then they say that risk is reduced or risk, this is the more risk. So, then they go for another model, another step spiral, another spiral, another spiral, and they continue all the steps again and again. All steps are independent to each other, there is no correlation between the steps, independent, not dependent to each other. That is why people have lot of freedom, that whatever I am doing is independent of what I did last and independent of what I am going to do the next. So, the risk is reduced. In this way, major projects they reduce the risk by using spiral model, by developing different type of prototypings and then using it. So, spiral agile is the order of the day, and where complex project, large project, high risk project, they go for spiral and agile methodology. In this way, system development process is followed.